My name is Osahon, Ekhator, Osagide. Consider myself African American.
Savelle, Jefferson, African American.
My name is Tavior, Mowry. I identify as black.
Chase Wiley, Creole, African American.
In this country, the perception of black males is really polarized. For the few enlightened, they understand that we're people just like everyone else. But, for most, they only see the negative, reinforced images and stereotypes that we're bombarded with on a daily basis from, all facets of media. Not all of us, or what you might think, or what you might have heard, and black guys are people too. My experience at Davis was very multifaceted. I found a home with my historically black fraternity, with the black community here at Davis. But even that being said, there may have not been a need for me to find that home, if I kind of didn't feel so alone at certain points. There were times at Davis where I didn't think I fit in from a cultural perspective. There were times where I felt like people didn't give me the fair shot just because of what I look like. And that was a little weird for me because I'd never really been treated like that before. I grew up around, mostly black people. And, wherever I was around, I felt like I stood out because of my personality or, my other personality traits like my intelligence, not because of my skin color. So that was something to kind of get used to at Davis.
Oftentimes it's just you and maybe like a few other black people within the classroom or within the lecture hall. I remember being like a freshman. I was like the only black male in the lecture hall of like 600. So it's just like, sometimes it's just like kind of an isolating experience because you don't always have people that exactly look like you. Also, like there's a lot of already existing negative stigma that surround black males as far as our pre-existing intelligence. So a lot of people necessarily like look at you and already believe that you're not intelligent or you're not smart. So, and then when you open your mouth, you're like, oh, I didn't know you were smart, or a lot of other things. A lot of people see black males on this campus and assume they're here to play a sport rather than that they're just here because they're intelligent. Like, you're constantly battling to fight those stereotypes, so you're always having to prove yourself in a way.
It's been cool, and I guess I can owe that a lot to the football team because I live with a lot of football players when I used to be on the team, and I still live with football players, and most of those players are black or mixed. You know what I'm saying? So I already have a network of like people in the community already, so I never really felt like I was alone. Like, I have experienced racism here. It may not be too blatant, but I definitely do feel like there's some tension definitely going on that could be said.
Sometimes I'll get these weird looks like, what are you doing on campus? You know what I'm saying? Like what are you doing here? Like, you don't look like you belong on campus. Like, you don't look like a college student. And sometimes that transcends all the way into the classroom where, it's like usually just because of my skin color that people don't want to like talk to me sometimes. Like, I remember I was in a sociology and family class, and like for the first like week, like no one sat next to me. Like, nobody sat next to me at all. And like no one would even like think to talk to me. I would just kind of sit there like, okay. But it's the TAs usually that just kind of have this like, I don't know, like they don't want to deal with students. And I feel like it's even worse for me because they think I'm coming in there just for like a cheat code or something for like the final or something. It's like, nah, I need help. Like, can you just help me? Like, I don't know.
I was with the homie, I want to say during spring quarter. I'm not going to say which fraternity it is. And before we even step foot on their lawn, they're already saying like, nope, we don't allow you guys in here. Like, nope, don't even bother. And like, we were so far, you could tell the hue of our skin, but you couldn't see our face. So he was already making a judgment based off of what he said. It made me a little angry because like they're writing this off from the jump, right from the jump, and it made me feel angry, but at the same time, like, you just have to keep it pushing.
Those moments for me at Davis where I felt discriminated against, they hurt me on a deeper level. They exposed wounds that I didn't even know existed. I can't really put into words how exactly it feels to be demeaned because of what you look like. And I know that solely happened because of what I look like. I don't know if I would have been accosted or stopped for such a silly reason otherwise. I think it's definitely a combination of both, and I don't even necessarily think that those police officers are racist. Most people, suffer from this cognitive dissonance of saying they believe in things that they don't really act out and operate. And on a deeper level, that may be because of our conditioning, the way that we've been raised, and the values that we've been taught to champion versus what we actually do personally. So these officers, if you asked them today, and if you gave them a choice, they're probably not bad people, probably not racist overtly, but I think that their unconscious biases and things that they've seen, maybe personal experiences, made them stereotype.
A lot of times, man, I mean, it's not overt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not really just like flat out like, nah, you can't sit here, or, it's not overt, it's not obvious, but I pick up on vibes. I can just pick up on the vibes of people, and like I can tell when people are like looking at me a certain kind of way, like, oh, let's not talk to this dude.
Like everything is ran off a covert case. Like nowadays, you could watch like interviews of newscasters talking to like people in the KKK and stuff like that. Like, are you racist? And they're like, no, like I just believe in my people. You're just like, what, bro? Like, you crazy, right? Like, people get really defensive when you use the R word, like you're racist. No, I'm not. But their intentions are covert. So they're still doing the same thing. It's just under a different name.
I've had people who were walking a similar path change the path they were walking because they saw me coming. I've had people kind of cross the street because of me before. So I can't attribute that definitively to racism or anything like that. I can just tell you how I felt about it, and it sucks.
Wow, what a beautiful day! What? Oh no. For real?
Hey! Place your hands outside the car where we can see them! Yep, just what I was afraid of.
I got this.
Sir, step out of the car! But when you do, don't be black. Sir, please step out of the car as a white person so we can all relax.
I'm not sure how to do that.
He's resisting arrest. We don't want any trouble!
Yeah, neither do I.
Then why are you being so black about this?
I'm not being black about this. I just am black.
Is that a threat?
What if you just thought of me as a human instead of thinking of me as black?
That's so crazy, it just might work.
I got pulled over so often, and I made such a kind of a local fuss about it. My junior year, the Davis mayor invited me to speak on during Black History Month on a panel talking about how students of color feel about their treatment by the local authorities. So it was like that big of a deal. Be careful of keeping yourself to one truth based on one perspective.
Well, see, I would just say that realize that not everyone is like you, and that not everyone has had the same privileges and benefits as you, and that everyone's experience is different. So to be more respectful and more acknowledge that fact, and to be more receptive to other things. I feel like another part of privilege is not having to look outside of yourself or look outside of your own experiences. So because you are the privileged group, so you don't have to necessarily do that.
Recognize your white privilege. That's it. All the white people I'm cool with, man, recognize their white privilege. And they realize, they be like, look, I know when I'm driving down the street, there's less of a chance that I'll get pulled over. Recognize that. Then we can take the steps to changing what's wrong.
But I do think that the administration could chip in a little more towards making sure that black males, once they started Davis, finished.
Like, if more of like the university or like teachers in general made like a conscious effort to like reach out to you and make sure that you feel like you belonged. I feel like that. The main thing is there just needs to be more black people on this campus in general, and the fact that there isn't is very problematic.
Although we're talking about black people, I feel like it's bigger than black people. Regardless whether you're like Latino, Asian, black, like I personally try and live my life not at face value. And I never really try and judge somebody at all, but I really want to take into account like who a person truly is after I interact with them. Because if you just look at someone and write them off, like you're not even giving them a chance in the first place. Like, that doesn't make sense. And to do that off of racist notions, that's harmful thinking, in my opinion. So I say, just give people a chance and stop being so closed-minded. Like that's holding us back. Like reach out to somebody, be friendly, smile at someone. Just because someone is black doesn't mean you have to walk to the other side of the street because you're scared because they're walking by. Like, say what's up.